Hey everybody, it's me, it's Michael B. Happy Monday night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming here and joining me on what should be a fun show. I'm really looking forward to it. You guys can try to talk me into or talk me out of getting the Arcade1Up Midway Legacy Mortal Kombat 30th Anniversary cab. I apologize, guys. I know I'm an hour later than I normally am. I didn't know if I was even going to get to do this tonight. As of I think it was like 7 o'clock. This wasn't happening. My wife had to get ready for court tomorrow. She's not a criminal. She's not going to court for that reason. She's a lawyer, obviously. So she's got to appear in court. So she had to prepare for that. I had the kids, and I didn't think this was possible. But luckily, and I had to work too. I had work, a conference call that I had to do late tonight as well while I was watching the kids. Everything aligned. I got to come up, make a thumbnail, talk about this video, and here we are. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. So tonight, it's all about Midway Legacy Mortal Kombat 30th Anniversary. Will he or won't he, or did he already do it? Anyways, this is Chill and Chat with Michael B. All right, I just want to get caught up with the chat here. There was a lot going on, and I make sure I didn't want to miss anything, so I want to say hello to a couple people here in the chat. I've seen people here all night. We've got Mad Asher Gaming, Panic Flip Gaming. Oh, stop going all over the place. Nerd Lounge Master, Goofy Foot. Why are you contemplating purchasing a purchase discussion? You will and forever serve the Dark Lord FOMO. Your will is weak. Lord FOMO is all-powerful. Purchase the cabinet, you will. Goofyfoot, you may be on something. Endless One Up. How's it going, brother? The Marquee might get me. Ep Cyclone. Kessel's Arcade. The Kessel's just put his together. He's got his Mortal Kombat all set up. Just started a new Facebook group, so if you're not in that, go join it. Nooner. Chucky Shea. Garage Gamer. Dr. Z. J.A. Bobby Timpson. Ritual Dello. Charlie Chuck. Yes is the answer to any question involving you and an Arcade1Up purchase. Yeah. Brooklyn Menace, Bill's Retro Gaming, Ritual Dello, did I say you already? Andy1Up, Crumb, Sterling Hall, what's happening, brother? Chris Zeke, oops, he did it again. Donuts, Marco McGann, Hobby Hands, what's happening, Hobby Hands? I just got an email from you. Haven't had a chance to read it yet, brother. Andy1Up, you want us to talk you out of it? No, I don't want you to talk me out of it. Rainwater Games, no FOMO. We've all had plenty of opportunity to buy this game in multiple cabs at this point. Anyone who's in this community likes this game already, owns a version of it. But not an online version, Jeff. Just seems like a lot of unfinished things in this cab. Maybe. Fist of Love says bye, bye, bye. There's Kessel's Arcade. He's welcome back. Retro Steve, T-Slayer, Renee Games Jr., Weapon X. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. So if you've been following along, there's a whole lot of willy or won't he for this Arcade1Up Mortal Kombat 30th Anniversary cabinet. You go back to a couple chillin' chats a while back. I talked about when's the right time to buy and sell Arcade1Up cabinets, and I had actually already sold my Midway Legacy 2021, we'll call it, already in preparation to buy this cabinet. That is before I found out that this cabinet wasn't going to have a BOE IPS screen, and it was in fact moving to the TN monitor that was the same as in the Model 1s, maybe with a little bit of a different lamp. It seems like there's only one LED panel inside lighting the display, because usually it's edge lit. But it looks like it's only edge lit from one side. That's what we're finding out now. So not actually the best display in the world from what we see, but people are saying it's good as long as you're looking straight on at it. I've had some TN monitors. I know what to expect. Hopefully this isn't worse than what I'm expecting, but from everything I've seen, I'm so on the fence about it. Like, I want to love this cabinet. I love the look of it. I love everything about it. This was 100% I was going to buy this. Price, everything. Then I saw that monitor, and, my heart just sunk. And, of course, the UI for the fighting also isn't the best either, so it's tough. It's friggin' tough. I don't know what to do. So, for those of you guys that haven't been following along yet, and of course you have, Let me get that off screen, guys. Hold on. I should already have this up. So we're talking about the Midway Legacy arcade machine Mortal Kombat 30th anniversary. So you guys know all about it. Look at this thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's a bunch of them out in the public now. People have been playing them. And it's right down the middle. I got some people telling me that the monitor is incredibly washed out. Other people are telling me it's not as bad as it looks. People on Facebook are putting memes up saying the monitors aren't half as bad as the YouTubers want you to believe. And I don't know where I stand on it. I mean, obviously, I know it's not as bad as it appears in some of these pictures, that these were just a promo machine. We've already covered that. But, I mean, it's an incredible cabinet. You can play Mortal Kombat online. It looks beautiful. And I already sold my Midway Legacy. So, you know, everything's telling me I want to buy it, except for the screen. I'm right in the middle. I want to hear some of your guys' feedback. I know there's some people in the community that are just not Arcade1Up lovers, so I know what you're going to say, but I'm looking for some of your guys' feedback now. What are you doing? P-Dubs Arcade Loft, I know, P-Dubs, you had an appointment tonight for your kid in college. Hopefully everything went well. Buy it. Drop-in monitor replacements will be found. Did Golden Tee, and now it's perfect. Will you buy it? Yes, yes, yes. Mine comes Wednesday. Bizarro Dude, I canceled my MK30th, but I'm considering the Joust cabinet. See, this is the thing. I decided I wasn't going to buy one. Before buying one, if you can get a look at the screen beforehand, that would be the way to go. See how bad you like it, hate it. And I was thinking that. I was also thinking maybe I could just buy it from a place where I could return it. Wink, wink. Agree with others here. Monitor swap and things will be better, it seems. It sucks that we have to do that, though. And we have to find out whether or not we can even find a monitor that fits. Zero Hero says, Michael, it can be your first mod. Yeah, that's true. I've never modded one of my Arcade1Up cabinets. Every single one of them is stock. So if I did put a new screen on it, it would be my first. Ritual Dello says, hold out for a Pro or XL. I believe that it is a possibility we might get a Pro on these cabinets, and I'm going to tell you why. I think that the XL line designated for sports type games, so you might see an XL like we've seen Golden Tee, NBA Jam, maybe Buck Hunter might come back in an XL. But then I think the fighting games are what's going to be held for Pro. I don't think everything's going to be Pro, but the fighting games make a lot of sense. But you're saying hold out for Pro, and then it's still going to have a TN monitor in it. So I don't know. It's a tough one. Coach Jangle says, but jokes aside, he's buying his in August. Nerd Lounge Master 84 says, trust your gut. I got a lot of gut. I don't know if I want to trust that. People buy $60 marquees, you'll be able to find a $45 monitor if it's that bad, which it's not. I have one. And that's what I want to hear, LOL God. That's what I want to hear. 100%. So, guys, that's what I'm thinking of. And I will tell you, I am leaning towards actually getting one. I am definitely on that fence because of a couple things. Well, one of the big things about FOMO and fear of missing out is also another thing I like to call, and it's keeping up with the Joneses and having what your friends have. So I'm sure most of you know, a couple of my friends have actually picked up the cabinet. I was on the stream with B Kong when he got his cabinet, and I actually watched B's review today. So I should already have his stuff up here before I do this, but I just wanted to go over B's video. I watched this in length today. Great review. B did such an excellent job here. I really loved his style. Like, it wasn't this over scripted, nuts kind of review that like I do sometimes. Like, his was very straightforward, and he talked off the cuff, and it was excellent. He just talked while he was doing the stuff on the cabinet and did such a good job of it, covered everything that needed to be covered. Do you guys miss his old intro with the whole family coming in? Anyways, the cab design, everything looks beautiful. Kong really laid this out for me, and he keeps telling me, hey, listen, the monitor, it's playable. And he kept saying it's playable, it's playable, it's playable. And P-Dubs kind of explained it to me too. The camera that B's using probably doesn't pick up the monitor that good. I'm seeing all secondhand shots of the monitor, seeing people's camera images of the monitor, which is not a true tale. B tells me it's good, so it's good. But that's not the big part that gets me really excited about this. Here it is right here. It's the online play. That's what I'm having the most FOMO for. It's being able to, oh, of course, I got a commercial because I'm showing you a video. Of course, Mike. anyways, it's the online play. Like here, B is playing Dub Zero. We know P-Dubs, and I want this. I want to be able to play my friends. I don't necessarily think I'll be like a ranked competitor or anything like that, but I just want to play my friends in Mortal Kombat. I think that'd be fun. So yeah, it's keeping up with the Joneses. I want what my friends have. And honestly, looking at this right now and the camera angle B has there, that looks pretty good. Sure, like I noticed some issues with the black levels, which I'm expecting, but otherwise, yeah, it looks great. Now I gotta get that off screen, guys. I'm sorry, I'm really overwhelmed here tonight. So, guys, just catching up here. Michael B. Rainwater Games says Michael B. signed up for the Arcade1Up Columbia House. Pretty soon his stamps will run out. He'll have to buy a few for full price. Zero Hero. Here's the thing. MK2 is, yes, it's my favorite Arcade1. It's my favorite Mortal Kombat cabinet. Like when I was picking Mortal Kombats, like if I was going to buy a real cabinet, it would be Mortal Kombat 2. I 100% hear you on that. There's just no guarantee it's going to come back with a Mortal Kombat 2 skin. And if it does, I don't know if it's going to be available in Canada. We have yet to receive any of the reskin legacy cabinets here. So, whew, let's go. Retro Steve says FOMO setting in for him. Yes, it is. LOL God, great point. Who is this Marquise fellow? See, you're wrong. You're wrong, Rainwater Games. I don't already have one there. Zohar has 2 of them for sale on OfferUp, if that tells you anything. He has 2 of them. Not both of them are for sale anymore. Zohar has decided to keep one. He's in love with it now. Completely changed his mind from his initial review. Kessel's Arcade says, in some ways, the monitor actually looks a bit better, in my opinion. The color is better. That's interesting. I'll definitely, I have to see it in person, so we'll take a look at it then. Control deck does look nice. The only thing I don't like about it, of course, is they've got the yellow button where the white one should be for the block. Weird. Isn't the stock Golden TXL monitor playable? Yeah, it's playable. I don't know. Just play Fightcade, more robust online play and more people. Yeah, there is, but Ritual Dello, it's the conversation of, I always have this one. It's the conversation, I know I could save a lot of money, but it's the Raspberry Pi versus the NES Classic. I know I could play all these games on a Raspberry Pi, but I would rather do it in a more familiar form factor with the look and feel of the recreation cabinet, if that makes any sense. Wait, are you saying you bought it, Mike? No, I'm not saying I bought it, but I did want to go back and show you. It's good that I've got P-Dubs up here, because next up, I want to bring up P-Dubs. P-Dubs actually put up some gameplay last night as well, so if you guys haven't seen it yet, go over to P-Dubs' channel, check out his gameplay video from his Mortal Kombat 30th. Oh my god, Mortal Kombat 30th from last night. You can see it here. Here he is playing Klax. I'm not a big Klax guy, but of course, Tubin. I love Tubin. I can't wait to play 2-player Tubin with people. And again, like he's got the lights off. I'm looking at the monitor here straight on. It looks good. I mean, I don't think that YouTubers are blowing it out of proportion. I have to be clear about that. I think if people are telling you that there's a possibility the screen might not be that great, it's just give you guys a heads up if that's a point of contention for you that you expect really the same level of screen as in the previous ones. Be aware that this is going to be different, and here's the things that are different. I think that's what everybody's trying to do, not necessarily trying to shit on Arcade1Up because of the screens. I miss all these games. I sold my Midway Legacy cabinet a couple months back, and I can't play any of this stuff right now, so that's the other reason the FOMO is getting to me. And Tapper, man, I wish they would do a dedicated Tapper. I've said this 100 times. I want them to do a dedicated Tapper. I don't know if it'll happen, but now we're getting into it. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2. This is what I'm talking about. And from everything I see there, I don't know if I see exactly what Kessel's Arcade's saying, but again, I'm watching somebody's video of a video, but the colors look good there. I don't see any washout. I don't see any black level issue there. Everything looks pretty good to me in this image. So anyways, it's my buddies having these games, having Mortal Kombat. They're playing right now. They're having fun, and it's absolutely messing with my head and making me want to get it. I know Defender sucks on a P-dubs. I know. Is it as bad as what Defender was like on the last year's Midway Legacy? Yeah, Endless 1-Up knows. They should make a Tapper Cab. Sweet, I get the copyright claim this video now. Pay up, Mike. Oh, that's right. Hobby Hand says, yeah, I know. They're probably not easy to get anymore. I still have my pie. Just get a whiteout, change that yellow color easy. Yeah, I've never modded a cabinet Ritual Dello. You know that? Never once have I ever modded a cabinet. Never once. Oh, here we go. I want to bring up this comment here. I don't get the monitor hate. It looks fine to me. I'm kind of nitpicky about stuff like that. Is it perfect? No, but it's also not an original 90s cab with a CRT. So, do you have one, My Tiny Dumb Arcade, or are you commenting on like people's video? I need clarification on there. The thing is, like, it's different for different people. Like, there's people that like don't give a shit at all. There's people that are just content to sit in front of the cabinet and like as long as they can see it, they're fine with it. They don't care about slight discoloration. They don't care about like black level stuff. There's people that are totally fine. Like, you know, it's the same people that go to the store and they're like, yeah, I'll just get whatever TV. I don't really care. But then there's other people that are a little bit more, I guess the term is anal, and they pick everything apart with the TV. They're looking at the color levels. They're looking at the black levels. They really get into specs. So you get those people, the people that are just go to there and they'll be like, yeah, what's the best 55-inch TV I can get for my money? And like, you know, what's the best size TV I can get for X amount of dollars? And then you have the people there that are all about quality. That's the real difference there. I guess that's the point I'm making here. I do have it. So you have it. Do you have any other arcade, like Arcade1Up cabinets? Do you find it to be the exact same quality as the ones with the BOE monitors? I mean, in B Kong's video, when we're looking at it, there's a significant difference for the big blue right next to the Mortal Kombat that's next to it. So I'll ask people that have it. I know that I talked to P-Dubs, and P-Dubs said, yeah, the screen's not that bad. Like, it sucks. You can't stand up and play because there is, discoloration on the black levels. And then to the side, it's, yeah. I guess if I was standing at an angle that no player would ever be standing at, it's not perfect. But two players looks great to me. That's not the question I asked you. I asked you, compared to another cabinet, what's the screen look like? And you can take that for if you're standing directly at it or from an angle. I'm just asking that question. And Renee Games Jr. knows this. If you can put up with the Frogger Vaseline issue, you have to put up with this monitor. You got me there. P-Dub says I have to sit and play. Yeah, and I've been doing this. I used to be a stander like you, P-Dubs. I always stood in front of my arcades until I got last year's 2 Legacy editions where that line of sight issue was terrible. So basically, I started sitting at my arcades. Don't have a big blue. The only other 1-ups I have are Gen 2, so perhaps I just don't have a frame of reference for a better screen. That's possible. I think that's the big thing that everybody's kind of pissy about. It's hard to go backwards. Yeah, Kessel's Arcade says, if you check out my vid later, Mike, in my review, I have MK2 Legacy side by side with the 30th. That's the kind of feedback I want to see. I love stuff like that, so I'll definitely check that out, Rob, a little later on, 100%. I know, John Hour, people have been talking about this, that some people have said lag for the online matches, but I'm going to be honest with you. Like that's all based on the peer-to-peer connection. I've done it where, I'm playing Street Fighter. Me and P-Dubs played Street Fighter together sometimes, and like that lag sometimes popped in with Street Fighters. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It's not built-in lag. Sometimes it's just... I've played this cab for 20 plus hours at this point, and I have never thought to myself, this screen sucks. That's the kind of feedback exactly I'm looking for. As long as people are saying that, 100%. Like, I'm not here, and never in my videos am I trying to vilify the screen. I know for a fact I'm a little bit picky. So when I talk about it, I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to be irritated with the screen. There you go, Rich Wildello. The black levels are off, but the color looks better. I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. This is exactly what I'm looking for. That's the kind of feedback. And it's one of those things... Oh, Dr. Z asks a great question, and thank you so much for the $3 super chat. If I buy M Key, which cabinet is getting the boot? And there's a funny meme that goes online now. Whenever I buy a new arcade cabinet, people always post like a picture of someone looking very panicky, and they're always saying, "Oh, Frogger looking at that new Ridge Racer coming in. Frogger looking at that Mortal Kombat coming in." But here's the funny thing about that: I am now working on an arcade overflow space. So I'm actually in the process of moving some stuff out of the room that joins onto where my arcade is, and I'm going to make an extra section of arcade where I'm going to put some of the oddity cabinets. So like I'm going to put my Pong pub table out there because I love it, but it doesn't really fit in my arcade as well as I thought it would. So I'm going to move the Pong pub table out there. I'm going to move Frogger out there to make room for some of these other new cabinets. Maybe something else. We'll see. Just get the Buy Stuff Store riser for the riser. I'm 6'3", and the line of sight on all my cabs is so much better now. I actually already have some Buy Stuff Store risers downstairs. And then you get Swing Machine comes back and says, it's pretty bad in my opinion. The colors just don't pop compared to the BOE that is in the MK2 Legacy. It's so noticeable that it's off-putting to me. It's being modded with the 1708 FPT monitor this week. This is like a bunch of flies stuck in a spider web saying, come on, over, it's great. That's right, Kelsel's Arcade knows everybody needs... Uncle Jesse, I would never ban you. I don't ban anybody. Donut says it's a crap monitor. Yeah, so I don't want to buy something to mod something. That's the only thing. The online is okay. I wish it was better with spectator mode, obviously, but for how long we were all going to be playing online, really? Yeah, like, here's the thing. I'm probably never going to be playing in tournaments. I'm not a competitive fighting person. I want to buy this to play with a couple friends and a couple randoms from time to time. I'm okay with not having it. It'd be better if everybody did have it. It'd be better overall. But at the same time, I have Killer Instinct, and that's fine. If I want to play someone can pop it and just play me. Lewis Chambers says, will Michael B. cave? P-Dub says, I think he bought it. I'm not hearing him say anything negative. No, they're not. These are legacy cabinets. They're the evergreens. The only way I will say they're limited is in the fact that once the supply of what out there is gone, it's gone. It's like the Midway Legacy from last year. Once that supply is gone, there won't be any more of that. There'll be new Midway Legacies you can buy, but that's it. Will he get divorced? That's probable. Stay tuned. Oh, that's... There's nothing wrong with expecting excellence. I agree with that as well. I 100% agree with that. I wish it was the BOE monitor. So, are you going to overflow the overflow for the overflow yet? No, not yet. I'm going to try to keep it to, I'm going to put my I'm going to put my MVSX down there. I'm going to put my MVXX down there as well. Like, I love what I have behind me, but I find the MVSX fits better with, like, the Arcade1Up cabinets, so planning on clearance soon, then it might be worth it. We live in Canada. They don't go on clearance down here, so maybe in the US it'll go on clearance and you guys will get lucky. I don't know, but here in Canada, like, I could wait. That's what I was planning on doing. I was planning on waiting and just seeing, eventually if this went on sale. Like, what happened last year, the Midway and Capcom Legacies came out, and then by Black Friday, they were on sale for $100 off, $200 off. But I don't know. That's the question of whether or not I want to wait, because then Justin Console Kits brought up a great point. If I wait, then when I do get the cabinets and I want to experience it online and play with my friends, they might be bored with it. I didn't get stuck with Frogger Zero Hero. I'm very happy with Frogger. I don't like the Vaseline filter, but Frogger is a better cabinet than everybody thinks it is. I know I have cabs in four rooms, Rob. Jeez Louise. The online games are too laggy. Too laggy with the MK30 or just all Arcade1Up's online experience. I have issues playing online sometimes. Like, sometimes I'll get kicked out of Simpsons, and then, yeah. Charlie Chuck knows. They'll get bored with it before yours arrives. That's what I'm concerned about. So I'm at the half-hour mark here now, and I've just been teasing you guys a little bit. And, like, it's funny. I talked about this, and I said I wasn't going to do it, but after P-Dubs got his and decided to open his, and he started playing it, he started throwing up scores, telling everybody, like, how much fun he was having. Oh, here we go. Arcade1Up needs to have a business model like Columbia House. Buy one for 1 cent, you get additional cabs, do nothing, they'll be sent automatically. $5 super chat from Johnny Oldfield. Thank you very much. How bad is the black background in Joust? I got Centipede Legacy on the way and concerned about the Vector blacks. I don't care about side view. That's an excellent point, and the black levels don't get super black from what I understand. I haven't seen it in person yet, but I advise you to talk to some people with the cabinets. I know, like, Peter McNabb has the Centipede Legacy cab. He's usually in the chat here. He's on YouTube as Peter McNabb. Get in touch with him or go check out his videos. I mean, his stuff, like, he's really, really happy with the cabinet. I know that he doesn't have any problem with it, and he previously had other Legacy cabinets. So I think you'll be happy with it. I don't know. It depends on what your tolerance is for stuff like that, but hopefully you'll be happy with it too. And thank you so much for the super chat, brother. So anyways, here's what I did. Usually I was planning on waiting and planning on seeing all that stuff, but P-Dubs and B-Kong playing back and forth, and then seeing a couple other people really enjoy it and say, you know what, the monitor's not that bad. I gave in. Now, I don't have it yet. Because it's not available here in Canada. We still don't have it at our distribution centers, but I did put an order in, but I put it in through Walmart. And the reason why I went with Walmart is Walmart has a longer return policy, so I can actually get it, open it up, fool around with it for a bit, and then boom, if I don't like it, bring it back. So there it is. To me, it felt like, using this as an excuse, it felt like a pretty risk-free way to grab it. Like, I love the brick, but the brick has a 48-hour return policy, and, like, sometimes I'm, like, nostalgia in that sense. Like, I'll bring home an Arcade1Up cabinet, but because I have 2 kids, a busy life, and a busy wife, I don't have time to put them together before the 48 hours is up. So anyways, all those factors played in. The fact that I missed the games on my Midway Legacy cabinet, the fact that the cabinet is beautiful, the marquee, the cabinet build, everything like that, even the control panel, so much better than the original Midway Legacy. The online, everything looks great. I gave in, so That sounds like an addiction to me. Maybe, brother. Maybe. I mean, I did buy 797 NES games at one point, so maybe I do have an addictive personality. John Hour, $5 super chat. Thank you. $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. Fool around sounds like a bad choice of words. No. What I mean is I can play it. And then if I don't like it, like if it's the reason why I'm not buying it is because I'm concerned I won't like it. So now I can get it. And then if I don't like it, bring it back. Matt Manson says, seek help, please. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate your concern, brother. Brick actually sucks huge, but we are forced to use them for this stuff sometimes. I don't find the brick sucks. I find the brick is excellent even when you get your cabinet if something goes wrong. They will help you out. The only thing is they do have those strict policies because it's a furniture store, right? So the way it works is they've got to sell their warranties and stuff like that, and they can't very well tell you, yeah, sure, you got like 60 days to bring something back because it goes against their policy of selling those warranties. So I get it. But again, the brick, they're one of the only people that bring this stuff in. Like because of that, we don't have to get Dragon's Lair directly from Arcade1Up, so it's pretty good. Matt, yes, the FOMO is strong. Is this your first time here, brother? Oh, it's a real thing. It really is. Who are you kidding? You're not bringing it back, MichaelBtheGameGenie. It's possible, Jamie. It's possible I won't bring it back. It depends. If I get it and like it, there hasn't been a single cab yet that I've bought, and I would have been like, oh, man, I hate this cab. I really regret buying it. Don't feel bad. It sounds like you waited and made an informed decision based on the reviews you saw. Jay Reed knows what I'm talking about. Look at the timeline. Last night he bought it. Today Lara went to the courthouse. Lara didn't go to the courthouse today. Lara's got court tomorrow, P-dubs. That's when she finds out I bought it. Kevin Ostring says, do you like wrestling? I sure do. Spent last night watching Forbidden Door. I am waiting for Dragon's Lair. That one's open. I've had Dragon's Lair ordered right from the beginning, so we don't have them yet here in Canada. So I think I'm gonna get it like July 20th, and that's what I want to move to now. So on top of Mortal Kombat, I also have Dragon's Lair coming, and Dragon's Lair is the one I'm really excited about. Like, let's talk about this. Oh, yeah, Ragman. That's right. The sit-down outrun. You're right. That's true. There was one Arcade1Up cabinet where I was like, yeah, this isn't it, Chief. And that was the sit-down outrun. The sit-down part, I really didn't like, where it was too small on the floor or it wasn't stood up. You're 100% right. Gone. I forgot about that, Ragman. Thank you very much. Forget about the screen for a second. Let's acknowledge the good points. Marquee, joystick, speakers, and cab design, all awesome. But you ordered now, so you will see soon. That's right. Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. So, I don't think the Adam Cole match was stopped short to injury. Before I go there, I don't think the Adam Cole match was stopped short to injury. I think what actually happened is I think Cole was supposed to eat Okada's Rainmaker, and that's why he got pinned, and he accidentally ducked the Rainmaker, and then he was like, shit, what do I do now? So then when Jay White pinned him, it just looked stupid because he was supposed to be like completely obliterated from the Rainmaker. He accidentally ducked the Rainmaker, and then they were stuck. Slowpoke, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Slowpoke. I appreciate it. I want to know the cost of the Pro Cabs. $1,000 US. That's right, $1,000 US. Mike is now using his channel to justify his addiction. He's going to order it anyways. Adam, I've already admitted I ordered it. Anyways, let's move over. Let's talk about Dragon's Lair. So I did a video early today. First look at Dragon's Lair. And guys, I've said this a couple times. I'll say it again now. Dragon's Lair Arcade1Up looks absolutely incredible. Arcade1Up have knocked it out of the park. Is it a one-for-one recreation like Replicate did with the Dragon's Lair. No, there's some things that are obviously different. Some things that concessions have been made for Arcade1Up to make this work. You know what I'm talking about. I'm having trouble saying this, but the control panel actually slopes up a little bit more to the the control panel slopes up a little bit more and goes towards the screen. And in this one, it actually just goes straight, and that's because of the Arcade1Up build. So it's a little bit slightly there. Paul Minderman says, Dragon's Lair has an audio sync problems. Check the Facebook group. I'm all over Paul Minderman. So what they've been saying right now is the Replicate is perfect. The Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair has audio sync issues that if you play it on Daphne, the audio sync issues are after Daphne talks, after her face goes, and it looks like the Arcade1Up is in before. John D responded to some of those comments, Paul, and he said, wait until you get your cabinet and then do 1-for-1 compared next to the Daphne, and you'll see the improvement. So we'll see. P-Dubs talked about it. It's funny. The only audio problems are actually right at the end of the game. Half the people won't get there anyways because it's so hard. We'll see. That's kind of what we've been talking about in our group. But yeah, hopefully if there are audio issues and if it's a noticeable difference, then they can get them sorted out. But I've been following it. I've seen the feedback from John D, so I'll wait to see what happens when that comes out. Andy1Up says, what brand Laserdisc is in it? I have no idea. My opinion, Pro Cabs, will they actually happen? Go Nagai. Yes, I do think the Pro Cabs are 100% going to happen, but I'm going to call them semi-pro. Semi-pro, and here's why. Because I think the Pro Cabs are going to happen, but I do think they're going to have the same monitor that was in the Golden TXL cabinet. I just don't think people are going to be happy with that screen and happy paying $1,000 for that screen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I enjoy my iArcade as well, and my iArcade is coming with Dragon's Lair on it, and everybody was there like, why do you want to get the Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair? You could just play it on the iArcade. You don't. You might not get it. I don't know. Kelsel's Arcade says, not getting Dragon's Lair, need a reason to keep my OG iArcade with Dragon's Lair skin once the gold arrives. And see, I had problems with that too, because I knew I was going to get the Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair, and then when I was deciding which of the iArcade gold editions to get, I really strongly considered the Dragon's Lair, and I know it doesn't make any difference, because I could have the Arcade1Up Dragon's Lair downstairs and then have the Dragon's Lair up here, but I decided, yeah, no, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get Dead Cells just because it's weird and unique. But, yeah, I get it. Note to self, Michael B will use all inside jokes for show material. That is correct. Well, not for show material, P-dubs, but Dodo Machine. You can play it on the ALU. Yes, you can play lots of things on the ALU. You can also play it on a Raspberry Pi. It doesn't mean it's the only way to play it. I hate that narrative. Again, going back, I'll say that conversation again, and no offense to anybody that wants to play this way, but just because your mind, what I don't like, I will tell you, is like when the NES Classic was coming out, it was so hard to get, and I would post, I'd be like, just waited in line for like 8 hours at a store, but I got my NES Classic. I'm so excited about it. And the first things people started posting was, you're an idiot because you could have just got this on the Pi. You could have just played it on a Pi. Or even when I was collecting NES games, I was like, oh my God, I just got Zombie Nation. And they were like, you're an idiot. You could have just played this on a Pi. In your opinion, if you can play it on a Pi and you're completely happy doing that, that's awesome. But some people like to play things differently. They like to play things on original hardware on a CRT, or they like to play things with at least the original control, and they enjoy that. So I understand that what is adequate for you, and you look at it and you say, well, I just saved a bunch of money and I can play it this way, that doesn't mean that everybody has to think exactly like you. People can play whatever they want. You may look at me and say, wow, that guy's wasting a bunch of money, but it's my money to waste. Sorry, I don't mean to be giving a PSA here. I apologize, guys. It's just every time I get those comments, like, you could just play it on ALU, go back to the Raspberry Pi conversation. I'm like, I know that. I know multicades exist. That's not the reason I buy Arcade1Ups. Sterling Hall says, when I started watching this channel, I had just one cabinet, Tron. Now when I pre-order my Dragon's Lair comes, I will have 5. Just saying. I'm sorry, Sterling. I am very, 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 very sorry, brother. Sterling Hall still number 1 in the Tron leaderboards. Yeah, Donuts, I 100% agree with you. I'm completely disappointed Double Dragon's not coming out. Hopefully they will come out again in the future. There you go. There you go. Play it on what makes you happy. That's the big thing. Like, if someone came here, until divorce happens anyways, David Deming, 100% right. I think a lot of us own the same t-shirt. I have like 16 of them. I'm a little irritated though, because like this is just like Hanes like crewneck shirt, and I got a bunch of them for Christmas. And anyways, as soon as I washed it, all of a sudden after I washed it, they all shrunk up and they got like weird sizes. The necks all stretched out. Like, I guess where it is like a full cotton shirt, it's like the Seinfeld episode where the Yankees are in there. So anyways, where's the Dig Dugs cabs? Sold everywhere. And John D says Qbert won't sell. I know, right? Well, I think you look at Replicate, and I'm going offline here, but you look at Replicate and the success Replicate had with their Dragon's Lair sale. Then all of a sudden Arcade1Up comes out and they're like, yeah, we're finally going to do Dragon's Lair. So now all of a sudden Replicate does Qbert, and if replicating Qbert's a big win, maybe. I'm perfectly fine with titles being platform specific. Competition breeds better games. I agree, 100%. There you go. Coach Angle says, I hate when people say that nonsense like, I know I can play games on Fightcade. I do actually. I still want a cabinet. Let me be happy. Exactly. That's the thing. We get it. And like, here's the thing. I don't look down at other people. I will tell you the truth. Like, when I was doing like console collecting really, really hard, like, people would say to me, they'd be like, hey, let's get together and play this game together. And I'd be like, I didn't have it. And they'd be like, well, play it on emulation. I'm like, I don't want to play on emulation. I never judge anybody else. It's just I was staunch. Like, I didn't want to play on emulation. Now I've loosened up on that so much over the way, but Did I steal that from you, Goofyfoot? It's possible. I'm sorry if I did. I owe recognition. Goofyfoot is the one who came up with it, the semi-pro line. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat, Goofyfoot. I really, really appreciate it. I keep telling my wife she shrinks my clothes. Her response is to stop drinking as much beer. I swear to God, Rob, I swear to God, this actually did shrink. It's not just the burgers. The shirts did shrink. Prenup, $2. You can have everything but the cabs. $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Hobby Hands. I appreciate it, brother. Oh, yeah, there was no pre-up. Are they really shrinking, Mike, or is it the cheeseburgers? Listen, man, the rest of my shirts, 100% it's the cheeseburgers. But 100% it's the cheeseburgers. But these actually, they shrunk terribly. They didn't just shrink. They shrunk and then got like misshapen. So yeah. Missed 2 ass, but I ordered the Dig Dug through Walmart. Looks like it's still available for pre-order coming August 19th. So if you are interested in Dig Dug Arcade1Up cabinet, you can still get it through Walmart, apparently for pre-order. Mike's such an emulation elitist. I'm not an emulation elitist. I used to be. Oh, that's a good question. Fire breaks out and you have to move one cab out. What do you save? I don't have any choice there. I've already got lists. So fire breaks out, obviously, wife and kids. But then I got 4 cats and 2 dogs. And by the time that happens, I'm only going to get one cab out. It's got to be Star Wars. If there's one cab that I'm getting out of my house, it's got to be my Arcade1Up Star Wars cabinet. Best one they ever made. Will Arcade1Up release an 30th MK2 edition next year and then MK3? I don't think they'll ever release an MK4. There's problems with MK4. MK4 is a little bit harder to get running. And John D said he just doesn't like MK4. Like, I'm amazed they didn't do MK4 yet. Especially because they could put it on so many cabinets. But then again, it's used... and then again, it's... Then again, maybe they'll do it in a future release, but yeah, I could definitely see them doing more reskins of this legacy line. We know this is an evergreen line. As long as these don't shit the bed in sales, especially this year where they have the TN monitors and there's so much information out there where people are saying don't buy them. But, as long as they don't shit the bed in sales, it's an evergreen line, so they're going to come out with a new version each year with a roughly similar game lineup, so I would say it's a very strong possibility next year we'll get another Mortal Kombat cab with a different art package on it. $2 super chat from P-Dubs Arcade Law, free Qbert. I agree. There's no reason for them not to do a Qbert cabinet, Arcade1Up, make it happen. We've heard John D go on record to say a couple times, maybe a Partycade. We'll get maybe a Partycade in the near future, and hopefully that sells well enough for them to justify making the full cabinet. That would be a good idea. You know what? This is an excellent question, Big Daddy Cool, and I could talk about this. I am fascinated with the fact that we don't have any information from Arcade1Up this year on the next pinball version they're going to be coming out with. I don't know what happened. Arcade1Up Pinball, maybe it just wasn't the success that they hoped for. They ran into difficulties with, pricing of the models. Like, obviously, things didn't go so well in terms of the pandemic and then all the chip shortages and all that shit. And after that happened, they had to raise the price, and I think that just killed the sales of the pinball. I think at their original idea of $549 to $599, they might have had something there, despite like the problems with the cabinets, 720p, other things like that. Still pretty impressive product, but once the price got up to like $799 and then $999 here in Canada, it became a harder pill to swallow for people to pick these cabinets up, and I think that maybe we're not going to get a version 2 pinball right away. It could still happen, but maybe where we haven't heard anything yet, and the year is pretty much running out, maybe they're going to hold off and wait until they can figure out how to do pinball a little cheaper on their end to make it more cost effective for us as consumers, and maybe we'll have higher interest in it. Or maybe they're just waiting out, getting rid of all their initial stock before they announce anything else. So we'll see. There's still Multicade Monday. It's just not tonight. P-Dubs had fun. I wanted to bring up a comment here. 19K Fox says, use your iArcade to put out that fire. Oh, man. I love my iArcade. Yeah, Kessel's Arcade says, I would buy Qbert. That game is barely playable on main without the right joystick. And here is where Arcade1Up, here's where they get you over the multicade experience. There's bunches of games you can just play on a multicade if you're interested, but where they get you are the games with the unique controls and unique components. So the fact that Qbert has that diagonal joystick, that's one of the ones where you want a dedicated Qbert cabinet, because really there's no real other sensible way to play it other than kind of like a dedicated cabinet. So it makes so much sense for Arcade1Up to do it. I think there would definitely be interest. I'm just fascinated they wouldn't want to do it. And I'll use my old line. It's just because Arcade1Up hates 80s arcade enthusiasts. P-Dubs Arcade Loft knows if Arcade1Up did an Indiana Jones pinball, that artwork will be glorious and give us 1080p gameplay. I don't know if they can do the 1080p gameplay. We all know this. Pinball FX is a bit of a beast. I mean, even I had my really, really, really good laptop plugged into my At Games Legends pinball, and even that couldn't run Pinball FX in 1080p. Like, it was lots and lots and lots of problems with the gameplay. So I don't know if they'll ever get to 1080p, but they can certainly do 720p with online, and maybe that's what we would be looking at. Would be cool if there was a faux Journey cab that does video karaoke. Yeah, that Journey cab is cool, huh? iArcade Gold Edition is $9.99 now. Do you think it will sell at that price? That's an excellent question, Jamie. Kongzaros, I do see your comment. I'll come to it in just 1 second, brother. But I want to answer Jamie's question first. iArcade Gold Edition is $9.99 now. Do you think it will sell well at that price? I don't know. I think that what's going to happen now is that the majority of people that were going to buy the Gold Edition obviously jumped in on the pre-order. What you're going to have for the next little while is a period of different spots of people that missed out on it, seeing other people enjoy it, that'll jump in. So I think they're going to have sporadic sales for the next couple of months, and then maybe the next big sale, they'll drop the price back down, and that's when they'll start moving some cabinets again. I don't think that they're going to be flying off the shelves, because I think most of the people that were interested in doing the upgrade or jumping in the iArcade point at this time have bought it, so I expect sporadic sales after that, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Arcane Mage with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Big thanks for reigniting my love of retro gaming and getting me hooked on getting my home arcade going. Love your positivity. Thank you so much, brother. That's what this is all about, man. That's why I started watching people in this community, following their content, trying to get hints on Arcade1Up stuff, and it actually inspired me to go back and watch a lot of just old arcade channels like John's Arcade. I've watched every episode like 15 times through, just learning so much about arcade history. Went back and watched Arcade Impossible again, and it was all about that, nostalgia for the arcades, about having the luxury of being able to build a home arcade in my basement. So I really appreciate you saying that, and it's the same for me, man. Other people have done it for me, and glad I could pass that along as well. So thank you very much, man. That's really cool to hear. I gotta go back. So when are you gonna get the MK30th so we can do an epic game of Gauntlet? So Kongzaros, I did cave, which you would have saw from our chat anyways, but I did cave. I did place an order, and it looks like what they're saying right now is it should ship June 30th, and I should have it by at least July 11th. So I should have my MK30th by then, and we can get going, brother. Hi, Sharon Peters. How's it going? I think $9.99 is okay for the new iArcade if you're just getting one or two cabs. Good for those with limited space at the price point. Great quality cab and good enough game lineup. Yeah, I agree with that. If you want one cabinet, 100%, that's a really good point, Rob. Yeah, so guys, that's pretty much it tonight. Right now, I've placed an order for the MK30th. Despite going back and forth because of the screen on whether or not I was going to buy it, if I was interested enough in buying it. But after a couple of my friends got it and seeing people have fun with it online, I said, screw it. I can try it. In worst case scenario, I'm buying it from a place with a good return policy. If I really don't like it, I can just bring it back. So it was, how do I say this? It was a very easy decision just to give it a try. And, at the end of the day, I'm hoping that I'm going to be pleasantly surprised by the screen. Bcon keeps saying it's playable, so hopefully it really is. I've heard people be very critical, and then at the same time, other people say it's totally fine. Like we saw, My Tony Home Arcade was in here earlier, and he didn't buy any of the Wave 3 cabs, so he really didn't have a point to compare it to, and he said, you know what, I have been playing this for 20 plus hours, and never at any point did I say, I hate the screen on this cabinet. So that fills me with a lot of hope, because even when I did have Wave 3 cabs, I still had my Wave 1 Centipede there, and I was perfectly happy with that screen. So hopefully I feel this as well. Hobby Hands, $5 super chat. Did I miss something with Dragon's Lair? Is there no stool? No, there's no stool on this one. So it's $7.99 here in Canada. I think you guys are paying $5.99 for it, or $5.49 with the pre-order US. And no, it's no stool. It's just the cabinet as is. What you're getting is you're getting the BOE monitor, you're getting the secondary screen. There's no Wi-Fi, but it is what it is. I mean, I don't know why there's no stool. I was surprised that there was a molded coin door. For some reason, I didn't think there was a molded coin door on this cabinet. I thought there was actually a games list on the front, but very happy for the molded coin door. Tony C says, are MK 30th or Dragon's Lair waterproof? Asking for a friend. We don't know yet. We'll find out. Attorney Arcade, what's happening, brother? Attorney Arcade, do you have any of the new arcades coming? Do you have MK 30th? Do you have Dragon's Lair possibly? And I did see that you're putting in, what is it, a Stranger Things piece of glass? I don't want the cab. All I wanted was the stool. But we're at the end. We're at the end times for stools, guys. Yeah, so thank you again so much for the super chat. Surprisingly, there is no stool. What? No fatigue mat? I like the stools too. I'm actually as addicted as I am to Arcade1Up cabinets. I'm probably more addicted to the stools because I have like 12 Arcade1Up stools so far. So I don't know if there's going to be a Dragon's Lair stool, but I do know we're coming to the end times with the stools because they're moving to what's called the swivel stools, but they're chairs. Like, I don't know if you guys seen them yet, and the price point has gone up crazy. So Arcade1Up stool here in Canada used to cost $99.99. It's now shot up to $199.99. If Snow Stool keeps the price down, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I think Arcade1Up took some of the critical feedback the community provided after the last... This is a whole nother episode, which we'll save for another week, but just a precursor. I really question whether or not the last year of Cavs really was an eye-opener for Arcade1Up. Obviously, they jumped up the prices, whether that's just part of the plan or to improve profit margins, or if it's actually to, just because of the pandemic, whatever. They jumped up their prices, and I think they saw demand for the product go down slightly. There's still a lot of the product out in the wild. There's been sales this year like there's never been sales before. So I wonder if maybe Arcade1Up is looking at this saying, oh, okay, shit, we got to do something different. So yeah, maybe they took some critical feedback about like the bonus add-ons, like the light up deck protectors, the stools, tin signs, fatigue mats, and said, these aren't working. Whatever we're trying to do to add a little bit of extra value to justify our cost isn't working. We need to go back to basics and figure something out. So yeah, there it is. Those backrests are expensive, but like $100 more expensive. So you get the backrest and you get the swivel bracket for the bottom of the stool. The one thing I would normally be really excited for, because it's a swivel stool, because my least favorite thing about the Arcade1Up stools is you see the picture of the perfectly aligned stool on the box, and then you get it out, and it's never perfectly aligned. The art on the chair is always sideways to the stool, and it drives me nuts. With a swivel, you can avoid that. But with the back on it, now if the art's crooked, it's going to be crooked to the back, so the swivel doesn't help anything. Every time I put an Arcade1Up stool together, I feel like Homer with the barbecue pit, where he's looking at the picture, and he's like, that's a beautiful barbecue. Now, why doesn't mine look like this? Every single time I put together an Arcade1Up stool, that's what it looks like. Anyways, guys, I could talk about this all night, but it's late here, and I got a long day tomorrow taking care of the kids. I don't know if I mentioned to you, I also spent like 6 hours out in the sun today painting my fence. So you can still see the remnants of the fence paint here on me. It's been a long day. So anyways, I'm going to go try to have a little bit of fun in my arcade before I go to bed. It's 12:30, so not a lot of fun. Maybe I'll get a couple games of Ridge Racer in. Thank you so much for coming to hang out here with me tonight. And for the people that are tuning in late, yes, I did cave. Yes, I did pre-order Mortal Kombat 30th Anniversary. I'm hoping I'm pleasantly surprised. If not, I'll just take it back. Win-win. Anyways, guys, have a wonderful night. I'm sure we'll see you a bunch of other times later on the week. Kong is getting his Dragon's Lair, I think, like tomorrow. So if he does a live unboxing, I might try to jump on that because I really had a lot of fun when he opened up his Mortal Kombat. Anyways, good night, all you amazing people, and I'll talk to you next time.